It is that time again. We're streaming, and we are here to start dungeons. Hopefully, my character can get a bunch of level ups in probably about an hour. Let's see what we can do. Let's hope the stream um, gets their entertainment today. So, as I'm gonna wait for this queue to come up, I'm gonna start doing some of the quests where I left off. The other things I'd like to discuss about is I think I have figured out what game I'm going to start playing to stream as well, starting next week. I have so many ideas and so many little series I'm thinking about is bringing in some of my friends along ways, Eric, Shelby, and many others. But that'll be for doing old classic raids and all that stuff. And I'm planning to do quite a bit for that. Um, I really, I would really like to play other games other than that. So the first game I'm thinking about playing, other than World of Warcraft, is an old favorite game of mine. Many might not have known this game since it came out on, I think, the PlayStation 2, and it's called Overlord. It's kind of like a Lord of the Rings parody where you're kind of playing as Sauron. But I'll be discussing that when I start recording that possibility next week. That's my game plan. I'm be start doing videos that I like to add in maybe some interesting facts about that game too. So we'll be starting that next week. Along with that, another series I'll be doing is with my two other friends jumping in would be Eric and Shelby. They'll be tagging along with me when we do some of the old World of Warcraft raids. This is not my only character. I have many more, as you can see on my uh, on my stream. That I have 4 level 100s, both on all of them are on the Horde as of right now. Level 100 Hunter, Death Knight, Paladin, Warrior. But that's my main goal today. Is we're gonna be doing something about that. Talking about a few other stuff. I like to change it up a bit, so it's not entirely involving just one single character. Because I like to change things up for sure.
Well met. Be careful. What's beyond your mind?
I definitely be looking for sure playing with many other friends in World of Warcraft. Other games I like to hopefully bring in the late futures. I have a bunch of games on Steam that I bought in a while past that I like to probably stream along to. Um, However, those Sigma clips are going to be much shorter compared to this one. So the only reason why I'm doing hour-long episodes in World of Warcraft is because it's kind of like Fallout. You can't just do 15-minute segments and cut them in and out. It just feels kind of misplaced on that. Like, would you like a player play Fallout and only get possibility like a half hour and he's still the same level or hasn't even finished his quest or anything? Nah, I wouldn't. Some of these games require about hour long. Some of these games only require about maybe half hour, 15 minutes. think the only reason why that we're taking quite some time just trying to level up the dungeons is the fact that basically we're streaming pretty early, but at the same time, it's some one of those things I like to kind of get out of the way for right now. I might change the video time and all that stuff, so it's not interfering like this. That's for sure. I will be possibly doing some stream clips of some of my other characters in the future. I'd like to do battlegrounds. It's something I like to do. It's because it's easy to do, and it's not necessarily easy, but I find it kind of laid back and all that. So by the time you see my other characters, I'll probably be at that time with really good gear for my level 100s. Two of my level 100s are pretty much done gearing up, while my other two, they're almost halfway there to being done with the gearing up and all that stuff. I will say this, that even though the Alliance can win more battlegrounds, but the chance of the Alliance getting into a battleground is like gruesome. And if entirely they change that, that's a whole different story. Oops, my bad. I used to play a lot of the Alliance. I was a huge Alliance fan and all that stuff. Even though I started as Tauren, as the Horde side, I started out on a little Daromir as a Tauren warrior. When Wrath of the Lich King came out, I still was Tauren all the way through, but I went to the Alliance side when it came to Burning Crusade. And everything about that was entirely different. The only thing was what made me go to that side was I seen a player who had this cool, wicked, awesome sword, and I looked and it wasn't the sword originally, it was a skin. So I asked the guy, and he says, "Go to this channel," which was one of my favorite streamers to watch, and he's one, and I wouldn't say laid back, but he's actually one person that you can ask for advice when it comes to raiding. His name is Sparty Smallwood. I highly recommend you talk to that guy. He's awesome, awesome person. His stream is pretty amazing. And the only thing is for Sparty, uh, just just interacting with him. Just don't be a jackalope. Just don't be a jackalope to the guy. If you don't know it, ask him before you do something. The other person I want to thank along as well is Tolly for telling me about iBuyPower. I'm very pleased with this performance of the computer. It's amazing and everything, what I put into it. Put some megabucks into this. This is kind of my big Christmas gift. If you're interested in what I got in my computer build. I can send you an email. It's just too much stuff I have in my computer build. The only thing it's lacking is probably the main hard drive, because I already have an external hard drive. So I said, I don't need that right now. We might get close to doing a dungeon just in a minute or two, hopefully. All we're just doing is missing a healer. It's one or the other. I wonder what's going to be the first dungeon we do. I can tell you guys a little bit about the dungeons. They're not like some of the same ones. These are actually all these dungeons in beginning 1 through 60 are pretty much from vanilla. Pretty much all of them. There's been some major difference with along of them, but I will point those out. Like many of these dungeons have changed incredibly a lot uh, throughout the past. Many of these dungeons have changed incredibly a lot in the past amount. Just a lot has, and some of them got like a re-change of interface. Some of them basically still have the same. One that I know that has had the most changes in it has been Shadowfang Keep. That was a game I personally liked and enjoy playing. That dungeon, even though it wasn't that big of a dungeon, it was just a theme. It was that like medieval theme where you went in, and well, the only difference is to this now was when it first started out, we didn't have the race of Worgans yet. So Worgans were kind of what you were dealing with. So this was kind of like a Van Helsing theme, where you were going up, taking down Worgans, proceeding all the way through, where the guy who was doing all the transformation of Worgans was the same boss. Well, I think a different name boss, but he was pretty much the same NPC who's still there. And basically, the only difference what they did with the Shadowfang Keep was they retextured some of it, and then after that they changed it to more of the undead and some of the scourge being in that keep, because one guy well, it's a lore that when you play the Worgans or the undead lore, you'll understand more about it. When you do the Silver Pine Forest. You'll understand more of the lore about Shadowfang Keep, and if anybody's interested just knowing about more about World of Warcraft instead of just doing the leveling, I highly recommend you do just the quests in those zones so you understand more about them. Some of the quest zones have the lore about World of Warcraft and the World of Warcraft actually, um, but many do not. If you want to know more about it, the best way to describe it is basically um, the best way to describe it is basically playing the old Warcraft games. Those actually have a lot about it. They actually do. Pretty much all the games of Warcraft were the foundation of World of Warcraft. And we have our first dungeon possibility. Let me get this last pickup kill. And we are in. Ooh, Ragefire Chasm. Ragefire Chasm is one of my favorite dungeons to start, especially when you're trying to get to level 15 because it's in the heart and center of Orgrimmar. It really is. Um, the thing I will tell you that Ragefire Chasms has probably about two changes in it. One or two changes. I'm not 100% sure, but it pretty much does. When it first started, that there wasn't a bunch of these molten core creatures. There were more of trogs. Um, there was more trogs in this. There were like molten trogs and all that stuff. So it was kind of interesting seeing that. Um, it was a lot bigger. There was a lot more stuff to do. You had to go one side to the next, or you could skip all the bosses and go to the final one. A lot of people did that, and they're like, "Oh, hey, let's go back out, and then we'll start again." Right now, I'm not topping DPS because I'm not getting enough time to cast my spells and all that stuff. So it's kind of ideal logic as right now that it's going to take some time before I can start rocking and rolling with DPS. So in this game, before they redid it to what it is now, that these over here were trogs. These are the trogs. There used to be a boss over here that would give out an engineer schematic, and then over here on the left there was another boss on this path. Uh, Pretty much all the bosses were trogs. Pretty much all of them. This boss here, he was not the original boss. None of these bosses in here are originals whatsoever. So that's the major difference about this is none of these guys are original whatsoever. It's kind of sad, but it just happens. Um, there used to be a path that went up and around. I think it still does. And that boss there um, is not original, but what used to be there was, I think it's a bell guard. Warlocks get them, but I think it was a giant bell guard. I had to take him down, and basically, he was pretty much the main boss in this dungeon. Pretty much about it. It was kind of like cool, because he dropped off either this nice looking axe in the beginning. Whoa, what? That's cool. I didn't see that happen before. Now, what the boss that used to be here was more like a warlock, or it wasn't a mage. It was a warlock or mage. Um, there used to be a boss up behind this ledge. There was a ledge that you had to climb on, which is over here, that took you up there. And there was a hidden boss up there. He's no longer up there, but he used to be up there. I think we leveled up on this one. I'm not 100% sure.
For the Horde! Nabu!
So we did level up, which was awesome. Cool beans and everything. We did level up. Question is, now is this tank gonna join us? Okay, I guess not. Oop. Sweet. Sweet. It was very rare when that happens. It's one of the best feelings ever when you can keep someone a group together. There was one time when I was a tank, I said I was gonna do multiple runs. If you wish to come, so be it. And I basically got like 2 friends out of the game just for that. I was a tank at one time as a paladin, and uh, basically when Kata was about ready to come out, that uh, that you were able to finally play as a uh, as a Torn Paladin. So I took that opportunity before Kata actually fully came out, that I would start leveling up that Paladin, and so I did, and I pretty much went from level 1 to level 65 in a day, which was just crazy. Just crazy amount, just doing that. I never expected I would do something like that before. That was intense grinding I did during that time. The leveling was pretty intense when I was able to do that. I was quite happy about just the fact I was able to go from level 1 to like almost level 70 in the whole entire day. So I did quite a bit of that, which was the awesome part about it. I was able to gain like actually 3 friends through that process, but they no longer play this game, which is kind of unfortunate about it. Now, this second dungeon we're in right now is the Wailing Caverns. If you're a person who really liked leather gear, I believe this was the place to go, especially if you're a rogue. This was kind of like your way of twinking back then, other than the heirlooms what we have right now. This was the way to go. Okay, I guess we're skipping that. Okay. Oh, alright. The one thing about this is everybody pretty much are trying to get the quest completed. The most annoying part about this quest is gathering, I think, 5 of these serpent blooms. Yep, 5 of the serpent blooms. Alright, he went back up there. The fact that I'm leading in DPS is just not right. Um, I don't feel bad about leading DPS and all that stuff. just my opinion is I like to see people who do higher DPS than I do, even if I'm going all out. It makes me see that who's more experienced and who's not. Oh, great. We have two druids in here. They're probably recruiter friend buddies. I will say for the first time today, I was able to get my camera to work pretty much fine without having to unplug it and replug it back into the computer. Little did they know there was super people. I didn't even know that they jumped off without letting me know. I was like, where did they go? Wow, they went pretty far. Now, the only thing in this dungeon, everybody fights over those serpent blooms. I got two more I need to pick up, but that doesn't bother me whatsoever. Um, if you get it, you get it. You don't get it, they don't get it. Simple as that. But I think everybody in this dungeon at least gets it now. Yep. And that would be pretty much your, actually, that's more of shaman. It's more of a shaman gear. Armor to the Fang is pretty much close to Shaman. Yeah. So all I need left is 2 more Serpent's Blooms and kill some of these main boss characters. Come on, really? You're gonna skip? Sometimes you kind of want to be a dick and get that Serpent's Bloom. Alright, I'm gonna be a dick. I don't usually do it, but I like to just get it out of the way. All we need is just one more and we're done with that quest. Dungeon quests are pretty nice to get. Sure, but what the hell is this druid doing? It's still kind of sad that I'm out DPSing. But not for long. The stain's catching up. He should be able to already smoke me out of the water. All we need is one more Serpent's Balloon. Pretty much will be good. I have a feeling that the guy that we're with has I have a feeling the person who's the druid right now, there's two druids, but I feel like they're being controlled by the same players somewhat. Just picked up the last Serpent's Bloom. All we gotta do is kill this one boss, and that's pretty much it. Hey, we just leveled up, and we just picked up this quest. Learn to ride. It's time for you to learn how to ride. Seek out Cars, Storm Singer, in Malagor's Bloodhoof Village. Don't forget to buy your mount while you're here. Basically, pretty much a quest that everybody picks up from the Torn side. If it's the trolls, you go to the first village that you come into, Duratar. And for orcs, I believe the orcs are in Olgamar. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, each class basically gets something like that. Now, if you're a paladin, you're already given your mount. It's basically a spell, you get your mount on that one. Tauren Paladins, it would be Planeswalker Kodo. No, the Sunwalker Kodos. That's right. Sunwalker Kodos. The humans basically get the kind of their own type of version of it. I think it would be like Paladin Chargers or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while since I've done Paladins on the human side. One thing I will tell you about this dungeon is it used to be really challenging to get to the other side. I don't know if we already passed it or coming up to it, but many people usually fell and had to go all the way back around just to get back to it, just to get to the last boss. And it was kind of a common thing about it. I think Blizzard fixed that up by making the ledge closer, but it still feels like you're gonna miss it. The other thing about, I think it was Kata. The best thing about Kata was adding dungeon maps to the old instances in raids, because when you used to pick it up, there was none of this. It was just blank. You didn't know what boss was where or where you had to go whatsoever. There wasn't really a map. Someone actually, I think on WoW Thought or Wowhead or any of those other research for the game, they basically posted the maps and everything about it. It was kind of like interesting to see, but very shocking part about it. This is the ledge I'm talking about. So many people missed it. I missed it back in the day. It was not a fun thing to do. You missed it, you had to go waste like 5 minutes just getting all the way back up to where you were. Try again. And then someone who was a mage, or somebody gave you like a feather or a cloud, so you could just get over that without falling just straight down. Now, there's many people who play the game differently. Some people are mouse clickers, some people are keyboard clickers. Many people start out as a mouse clicker because they're not used to the keyboard controls. Little do they know they can actually change the keyboard bindings on it, pretty much everything about that part. May have to call this a shorter stream. I realize that we're almost time's up where we left off. Kind of bummer how I can only get one dungeon in or some sort, but hey, it happens. But at least I got a dungeon in for you guys. Beginning a dungeon grind starting with the Wailing Caverns. Well, actually starting with Ragefire Chasms and the Wailing Caverns. Two of the really good ones to do. Easiest way to do this part is you teleport out and teleport back in. So it's just kind of easy going there and back.
May the stars guide
I've been expecting. Winds guide you. May the
Oh,
eternal
so
sun
close to a level up.
upon
Close to being level 21. I think where we left off, we were level 16 in the beginning. We got it in pretty much good. We're almost going to have good 5 levels. For sure. We're going to have good 5 levels in, pretty much.
peace, friend. Go in peace.
It's a really nice thing getting 5 levels in, that's for sure, and everything. Drink a little bit more water because my throat's feeling very raspy. And not like I don't have a voice. So the one way I do is when I try to get done with my characters, when I get them maxed out level, I then do is decide on what their signature look will be. Like my paladin, I had pretty much the same signature look all the way through. For the paladin, my warrior, I like something. And we just gotta level up, which is the best part about it. Ooh. Mind Lash. We got 2 new spells, but I'm curious what's special about them. Devouring Blight. I'm just gonna decline on guild invites for right now. If it's a really good one, I'll join it. Like, just a good guild name. I'm not gonna join one of those, oh, you gotta join this awesome guild, like, that's really good and all that. I've joined in a lot of guilds throughout the past. You know, you think about guilds, you want to find a guild that you want to call home. So, um, now on the other hand, if you're a raider, that's kind of a different story. You try to do is find the one that you know that you're gonna be able to finish the content, and basically for that, that's a different story. It's kind of like job applications. I forgot there was a yeah, there's a website called Wow Progress, and there's guilds all over in World of Warcraft. That's people who put their guilds up saying, "Hey, um I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. I need a tank or a healer." Or progression through maybe 6 or 12, like 6 bosses out of all 12 bosses in the raid. But the thing after that you pretty much do is when you kind of apply to those guilds, it's like a job, an actual job. Um, some of them are going to ask you job questions about your history, how many characters you have, what realms you used to play, and all that. Um, is this the original account? How often did you raid? What have you been doing? All that stuff. Um, I've only done, I think, three of those applications in the past. One was uh, Whim Gaming Guild, um, and I forgot the two other ones. Who needs a tank? You got a priest. You got a priest. He can do it. Harper's there. Ice Station Zebra. What?
I am awake at last.
Alright. Did we get a level up? Oh, we almost got a level up. Pretty nice about that. So we pretty much got that. We're gonna finish up these little quests right up here to finish up the stream. We got some nice, good 5 levels in where we left off. That was a pretty good progress. Pretty good progress for an hour. We would have had more progress if we were a tank or a healer. I'm not healing, so I don't really know much about that. So we just completed that one. We're gonna pick up these 2 quests up here.
Don't be shy.
Involves with getting forward intelligent papers, and this one's getting involved with defeating a group of centaurs before their actual main leader comes up. So I think I'll be able to finish up this one before the other one, before we proceed on through. We could be interesting and be like, who wants to play World of Warcraft in third person when you have brand new feature as first person? Feel like you're in the game. Feel like you're in the zone, playing as your priest, putting through the spells where magical orbs comes out of random places, who knows where.
I don't have a target.
What? Did we kill him or? Oh. I thought I reset it. I would have been like, oh, that's kind of sad. That would have been bummering. Hey, we killed him.
How are
We're gonna turn this one in,
you? Be
and
careful
then
now.
we're gonna try to get at least one or two of the intelligent papers, or hopefully all in the next 3 minutes. It shouldn't take that long. To find these ones, you basically just go for tents like these. Each tent basically kind of has it. You take a quick glance. Let's see. Found one right in here. So you pick up one of those. And we need three more. Three more. In fact, I'm gonna end the stream after finishing this quest. I don't want to leave it as a cliffhanger. That'd be unfortunate. It really would be. Okay, there's none in that one. Oh, we found one. Two more, guys. Two more. We got this one. Ooh, I thought about using a Hearthstone, but I am not going to do that. That'd be unfortunate because I did not save it in the replication. Okay, we got one more paper. All we're missing is one more Centaur Intelligence, and we'll call it a day. And we found it. The last one. Who's Rick? Alright, we got this. And I'm gonna do is turn in these quests, just this one. And then basically after that, we're gonna call the day on this. And it's a good left off. We pretty much got in 5 levels, almost 6. Very good progress for about an hour and a minute.
How you doing, man? Be seen?
Alright, so thank you all for watching, and remember, there will always be a stream video of Let's Play World of Warcraft pretty much every day, hopefully. And thank you for watching the video.